Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new episode of Ask Huda. I'm your host Fuad Muhammad. First of all, we'd like to take the opportunity of congratulating all the viewers who are fasting in this holy month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you and us. Ameen. We also like to take the opportunity to welcome on the show our dear and respected Islamic scholar, Dr. Muhammad Salah. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor, and welcome to Ask Huda.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Fuad, and happy Ramadan to you as well.
Jazakallah khair. Just a quick reminder of our telephone numbers: 00202 38555 248 or 249, or you can write to us at ask, that's ask, at huda.tv, and we'd like the calls to be in the very beginning of the program, so go ahead inshallah. Okay, Dr. Muhammad, the question we have here: if someone eats or drinks forgettingly during the day whilst he's fasting, does this nullify the fast?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa. Wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. La siyama al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama tasliman kathira. Since we're new, or most of us are new to fasting constantly for a whole month, some people might forget, because just day before yesterday everybody was eating and drinking, and then all of a sudden that we must start fasting. So some people might forget. In this condition, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. He said by the end of Surah Al-Baqarah, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. This is a dua, an invocation, which means, our Lord, do not pardon us if we ever forget or we err. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who inspired us to invoke Him with this dua. So He gave us the mean to ask, indicating that He likes the dua to be asked, so that He will answer it. So those who will make anything which is either haram or disliked by mistake or out of forgetfulness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pardon them and will forgive them their sins. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in this regard, فَإِنَّمَا أَطْعَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَسَقَاهُ. It's like a gift from Allah. It is Allah who fed him and who gave him the drink, as long as he did not intend to do so. So he should continue, resume his fasting, and he doesn't have to make up the day.
SubhanAllah.
Even if he ate a whole meal, providing once he remembers or he's reminded, even if he has food or drink in his mouth, he should spit it out.
Okay, and the second question about the iftar, breaking the fast. Is it okay to delay it after the Maghrib prayer?
In one hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, my ummah will continue to be in a good condition, following the sunnah, as long as they haste to break their fast. ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. This is the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that fasting begins at dawn and it ends at sunset. So there is a difference between eating a meal and breaking my fast. Everybody must break their fast once sun sets, or they hear the adhan, or the time of Maghrib enters, if they do not hear adhan in their locality.
Okay.
This is a tradition and this is a sunnah. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam blocked the means of innovating with regards to the ibadat, because somebody might say, fasting is a great act of worship. By extending my fasting for a half hour until I go and I pray Maghrib and I return back, I may earn an extra reward than those who just fasted until sunset. No, nullified. You've just committed an innovation. And that's why Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam specified that the ummah will be still on the straight path, in a good shape, as long as they haste to break their fast, as long as they eat the suhoor meal. So I said there is a difference between breaking the fast and eating a meal. You can break your fast on dates, or one date, or a sip of milk, or if you can't find some water. It's a declaration of breaking your fast. That's why, inshallah, by the end of the month of Ramadan, we will say that before going to Salat al-Eid, one must eat a date or drink something in order to declare that I am not fasting today, because fasting today is haram. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam forbade his companions from al-wisal. Al-wisal, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to continue fasting for several days without breaking his fast on sunset. Some of the companions wanted to do that. He forbade them. So it is prohibited to increase extra time with regards to fasting without a necessary cause, such as I don't have anything to break my fast, or I happen to be in the street, so I will swing by in a masjid to pray first. If there is water, make sure you drink water to declare that you broke your fast.
Okay, we have Brother Umair from Belgium. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are you getting my voice?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. I have 3 questions. Can I ask them? I mean, like, it's too many? Or
No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. We've got many un-Islamic customs and traditions in marriages in Pakistan. So I wanted to ask them, like, and they're not Islamic, right? And they're from mostly from Hindus, because people were living with Hindus mostly.
Okay.
So what is the ruling on that? Like, attending such ceremonies, and how should we guide the people?
Okay, I got it.
Umair, be specific and give examples. We cannot generalize, because sometimes there are cultural traditions which may coincide the religious traditions. So be specific.
The traditions are like, they call it a rasam. I don't know if rasam. They call it a celebration. It's mayo, which is like, they do a lot of stupid things in that, like the bride sits with things like sweets, and I don't know what is the ideology behind that, but I'm sure it's from Hindus.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Your second question?
Second question is like, it's a common practice among Muslims to celebrate events like birthdays, or anniversaries, or Mother's Day, Father's Day, although it's not from Prophet Muhammad. But can we celebrate this, or even can we wish others these things, or can we attend such ceremonies?
Okay, and the third question?
And my third question is like, my friend or my neighbor, he wanted to read a French translation of Quran. So can I give him, because he is in a state of major impurity? So this is my third question.
Okay.
If I can give him or not.
Jazakallah khair. That's Brother Umair from Belgium. We also have Sister Noor from the United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Hello?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Go ahead, please.
Can I ask my question?
Go right ahead, please, sister.
Okay. Actually, there is a situation, like, I'm suffering since 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting, satisfied to my soul. So I just want to share with Dr. Salah about the right solution of the Sunnah.
Mm-hmm.
The situation was, there was very much problem. A girl was suffering since 13 years of her age, till 26. Her father was not good with her.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to rape her, you can say. So just to save herself after her mother died, so what she did, she got one proposal, and she did nikah. She went with that boy, and she did nikah to save her herself from her father.
Okay.
Now the thing is, now the boy's side, the family is not able to accept, and there is lots of problem, like financial problem with the kids.
Okay. Can you get to the question, please, Sister Noor? Can you get to the question? So what is exactly the question?
Yeah, my question is my nikah is valid, because I'm not getting the peace in my soul. Some people are saying your nikah is not valid without wali. So who to whom I should ask for the wali? Because my father itself was doing like that, and the situation was so worse that there was no other choice, and there was no knowledge.
Okay. Jazakallah. Got it, Sister Noor.
What I do for my nikah?
Okay. Alhamdulillah. I got your question. Jazakallah khair, Sister Noor from the new UAE. We also have Sister Noor from Sudan. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live on Ask Huda.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Ramadan Kareem.
Same to
I
you.
would like to ask one question. After the Tarawih prayers, if I would like to pray 2 raka'at of witir with the jama'ah and save 1 more raka'at later on, because I would like to wake up for tahajjud, is that better, or should I just complete my witir with the jama'ah?
Okay. Okay.
Jazakallah khair.
Sister Noura, the witr is never even, is never 2 rak'ahs or 4 or 6. It is odd. So your question basically is pertaining praying with the Imam. Then whenever he is ready to pray witr, you pray the shafa' 2 rak'ahs with him, and you will save the last rak'ah, the witr, so that you can pray on your own at home. The proper advice in this regard is, if you remember yesterday I quoted a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, من صلى مع إمامه حتى ينصرف كتب له قيام ليلة. It is very important to join the Imam from beginning to end until he finishes, even if he is praying witr after praying 8 rak'ahs and the 2 rak'ahs of shafa', 1 rak'ah witr. You can pray the witr with him. Then afterward you can get up and pray 1 rak'ah by yourself. So you will extend an extra rak'ah. So that way you have prayed even, not odd. You have not prayed the witr yet. Then afterward, if you want to pray as much as you want, and by the end, prior to Fajr, you can pray the witr and odd, whether 1 or 3 or 5 and so on.
Okay, next we have Brother Muhammad from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Sheikh? Ramadan Kareem.
And to you too. Thank you, brother.
Yes, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One is, can we use the...
Okay, Brother Muhammad, can you please turn on the volume on your television set, please?
Okay, brother.
Okay.
Clear. First question is, can we use miswak while fasting?
Okay.
And second question, while going for the sajda, we should land with the hands or the knees? One confusion.
Okay. Okay, Jazakallah khair, Brother Muhammad there from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Oh, we have another question here, Doctor. It says, what is the exact time to stop eating in the morning? Is it, as we said, the tradition of imsak, or just before the azan of Salat al-Fajr? When exactly should we stop eating?
Imsak, or withholding from eating, drinking, and having an intimate relation with one spouse, is at dawn. If you hear the adhan, once you hear the mu'adhin says Allahu Akbar, you should withdraw and withhold from eating and drinking, etc. If you have a time, once it is time, you should abstain from whatever is restricted during fasting. Whatever we see in many calendars, or imsakiyah during Ramadan, that it says imsak time, then Fajr time. It's just an advice to tell people that there is only 10 minutes left for Fajr. But it doesn't mean that if you eat after the imsak time that you violated your fasting. No, because the actual imsak, which is withholding, restraining, or abstaining from eating, drinking, etc., is at dawn, whenever the adhan is been called. Normally for Fajr there are 2 adhans. One which is earlier than the actual one, in order to alert the Muslims to get up, to eat suhoor, to pray tahajjud. So this adhan does not lay any ahkam or rules or regulations. The adhan which makes a person abide with, and he must, which will enable him to pray Fajr, which he must stop from eating and drinking, is the second adhan.
Okay, and the next question is, can we pay Zakat al-Fitr from now?
This is a matter that the scholars in general have agreed that it is permissible to pay Zakat al-Fitr in advance, or any Zakah, the bodily Zakah, which is Zakat al-Fitr, or the Zakah on wealth and possessions. But how advanced or how early can one pay Sadaqat al-Fitr? Imam Abu Hanifa, may Allah have mercy on him, holds the view that one can pay Sadaqat al-Fitr, which is due on the Eid day or by the end of Ramadan, can pay it even before Ramadan begins. Al-Imam al-Shafi'i, on the other hand, says from the first day of Ramadan, while Imam Malik or Ahmad hold the view that if you want to pay Sadaqat al-Fitr in advance, then a couple of days before the Eid. This way you allow the poor to prepare themselves to celebrate Eid, and this is no doubt the more right view. The purpose of Sadaqat al-Fitr and the wisdom behind it is أغنوهم عن المسألة في هذا اليوم, is to make them self-sufficient, the poor, on the day, so that they don't beg. So if you give them the Sadaqah before Ramadan, they might eat it, they might spend it, and once again they would need it by the end of Ramadan. Anyway, if you take the opinion of either one of the Imam, it's valid, but the more right view, Wallahu A'lam, is to pay a day or two before Ramadan ends and before Salatul Eid. Since we're speaking about paying the zakah or sadaqatul fitr in advance, it is also worth of mentioning to speak about its latest time. Because some people do not realize that once the Imam says Allahu Akbar for the Eid prayer, then its time is out. And the person who did not pay sadaqatul fitr before the Eid prayer has committed a major sin. Yet he still has to pay it, and it will be a regular charity or a voluntary charity, not equivalent in the reward to zakatul fitr.
Okay, we have Sister Hamdan from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live on Ask Huda. Your questions, please.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you.
Same to you, sister.
Thank you. I have two questions. My son, he is about 8 years old, and he is, alhamdulillah, memorizing Quran. And I want to give him some tafsir al-Quran in, like, for easy way to understand for the kids, and Sirah Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Can you recommend any book for the kids?
How old is he? How old is the son?
He's about 8 years old now.
Okay.
And so he can understand, because he asks a lot of questions when he memorizes, okay, this, what is this, what is this? And sometimes it's really hard for me to explain about everything. So, and my second, it's actually a request that nowadays in Pakistan, it's like there is a disaster there in form of flood.
Okay.
People are like distressed, and they are like really, they are Muslims, and they are in great trouble. I just want to request all of the Muslim Ummah who are listening right now to your program, pray for them in this blessed month.
Thank
and
you,
if you want to help in any way, so just please try to help them.
Okay, inshallah. Okay, inshallah.
They are
okay, Sister Hamdan.
Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. We also have Brother Muhammad from Canada. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ramadan Kareem to all of you, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair.
Same to you, brother.
I have the question I have. It's general. It's not pertaining to Ramadan particularly.
Okay.
But what I wanted to ask is, it's in regards to polygamy in Islam.
Okay.
And what I want to know is that if a man has the intention of doing that, and the wife does not disagree with the idea, but she will not feel comfortable with it if the man goes ahead. So, Islamically, should the man, go ahead and do it because of his needs, or should he consider, his wife's, the emotions and so forth?
Okay, got it. Jazakallah khair, Brother Muhammad there from Canada. We also have Sister Aisha from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Okay, I think we lost Sister Aisha there. Brother Amay from Belgium, he says he termed them to be un-Islamic traditions, and he was saying, like, for example, because we're living in a community mixed with Muslims and Hindus back in the Caribbean as well, it's that at the time of marriage they would do certain traditions, like giving the bride sweet to eat, they're wearing the dye before the day of marriage, and he said there are other traditions that went to the very extreme of following exactly how the Hindus do it. Are these traditions okay?
First of all, I asked them to be specific. Why? Because sometimes we generalize.
Yes.
We get carried away, we're motivated, and we believe that since, alhamdulillah, we started practicing the deen, then anything other than what we know should be invalid.
SubhanAllah.
Or an innovation. We have to be specific. You name a specific thing. When Islam came, there were some traditions in Jahiliyyah. The Meccan pagans were immersed in evil traditions, but some traditions were good. And the Islam praised. And the Prophet ﷺ has said that he attended some, such as Hilf al-Fudul before Islam, that if he is invited to it in Islam once again, he would definitely agree and he would attend. So we have to be specific and we cannot generalize. The wedding traditions, whenever they feed the bride or the groom or they dress whatever, as long as we maintain the general Islamic rule, such as there is no mingling and mixing between the genders, and we do not play prohibited musical instruments, and the bride or the woman who is getting married would not sit displaying her beauty before men who are not her mahram. Everybody would take pictures and so on. Then that's fine. She wears a henna, she wears makeup, she wears the latest wedding dress fashion, whatever. That's perfectly fine, no problem. So I would be specific and I would say this is haram or this is halal to something that is mentioned specifically. I cannot generalize. You just mentioned henna. Henna, no problem with that. An adornment for women, and the husband adorning himself for his bride as well. Not only on the wedding night, but throughout the marriage life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. But you tell me that you have to wear a ring similar to mine, and I say, no, this is not our tradition. So we'll deal with it one thing at a time. Abdullah ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet's cousin, used to say, based on the ayah which I quoted, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, that women or wives do have rights similar to that which are due upon them. He said, إِنِّي لَأُحِبُّ أَنْ أَتَزَيَّنَ لِزَوْجَتِي كَمَا أُحِبُّ أَنْ تَتَزَيَّنَ لِي. I like to adorn myself for my wife, same exactly as I like her to adorn herself for me. So if there is a specific hukm to prohibit anything, such as for men it's prohibited to wear gold or silk, so you don't say it's only one night, Sheikh, and I'm wearing this jubba or this shawal qamis which is made of pure silk because it's only one night. I say haram. Even if it is 1 minute, do not put it on. And it's a tradition that the bride and the groom will go out and everybody will take pictures and they will dance together. In the Arab world now, not the only they dance together and they mingle together with music and so on, and they pose before the cameras kissing each other and doing things should be only done behind closed doors. So that is definitely haram. And I don't have to say in this particular culture or in this particular culture. We just specify the act and say this is lawful or unlawful.
Okay, we have Sister Rizwana from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ramadan Kareem.
Same to you, sister. Go ahead.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to ask about, not related to Ramadan, but regarding the interest money.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know that most of the families whom we know do take interest. And is it permissible for us to go ahead and, like we eat in their house or whatever?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Sister Rizwana there from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We also have Brother Yunus from Oman. Assalamu alaikum. Brother, you're live on Ask Huda. Brother Yunus, are you with us?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I last time, assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Kareem.
Okay, same to you. Go ahead, brother, with your questions, please.
Alhamdulillah, last year I talked to you I have fasted all the days.
Okay.
You sound fasting, Yunus. Yunus, you sound like you're fasting today. How old are you?
My question is, why do all people cannot not believe in Allah?
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fiqh, Brother Yunus there from Oman, one of our young callers. Brother Umar's second question is, he said, there's a common practice amongst the Muslims today, even to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, based on the traditions in the community. What he's saying, if we can't celebrate it, is it okay just to congratulate people on their birthdays and anniversaries?
First of all, if I see the entire community, the entire world is doing something wrong, and I know for sure it is wrong, then even if I'm the only person who will abstain from it and it shows the right, I'm fine. This is called the ghurba. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam predicted the time where that as Islam began, غريبا, stranger, it will return غريبا, بدأ الإسلام غريبا وسيعود غريبا كما بدأ. I don't really care if everybody around me drinks, or if everybody around me dates, or eats pork, or whatever. I know what I have to do, then I have to stick to it. As far as if somebody turn 20, 30, or whatever, and I wish him a happy birthday, there is nothing wrong with that. I'm not celebrating, nor am I attending a party that is not a part of our religious traditions.
Okay, Sister Noor, she wants to know that she said she had some big problem with her father in terms of him behaving in a very unmannerly way, and he said she's even mentioned the word rape was his intention. She said she went away and she married without the presence of her father. And based on this, she wants to know if her nikah is valid because of the wali not being present.
We have learned over years in da'wah not to take any question for granted or any statement as this is the ultimate truth. So the answer I will give is a general answer. And if it fits you, take it. Number one, with regards to a girl marrying without her guardian's consent, this marriage is invalid. There are several ahadith in this regard. The very famous hadith of Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha wa ardaha, she reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La nikaha illa biwaliyin wa shahiday adl." There is no valid nikah without the agreement or the consent of the guardian of the girl and two just caliber witnesses, male witnesses. وأيما امرأة نكحت بغير إذن وليها فنكاحها باطل. That's much more specific. Any woman, whether young or old, marries herself without the consent of her wali, then her marriage is invalid, باطل. And this relationship is considered as an adultery if she knows and if she insists. We'll assume that the father is a monster. He is very bad. I don't have to be specific and say he was trying to do this and this and this and that. He's not religious, he drinks, he tries to do bad things. And every time somebody who's good proposes to me, no, because he's looking for a particular person who can buy him drugs or buy him. So this person's walaya is being taken away from him, withdrawn. He's not qualified, he's not caliber. But that doesn't mean that the girl would go on her own. The walaya will be taken and will be granted to the person next in order. If she has an older brother, if she has an uncle, paternal, then maternal. Obviously, if she has a grandfather first, that will be given, the walaya will be given to him, the paternal grandfather, and so on. So if she does not have any family members, no more male, wise, caliber, just awliya, whatsoever, then the imam or the judge or the local emir of the area, in Europe for instance, or in the States, every community has an Islamic center and has an administrator or a committee and has an imam. So this person is qualified to be my guardian because he will be my representative. And why I said the local person? Because he would really investigate and find whether you're telling the truth or not.
Yes.
A case like that was presented before us in America. I don't have to say in which state. And the girl claimed that the father is bad and he's not religious. And so I insisted that I have to meet him and I have to see him. I found the man, not just a religious person. He's running an Islamic school. He's a very wise person, mashallah, and he's rich, has a prestigious position, and his concerns and reservations against this person were 100% valid. Even according to Imam Abu Hanifa, who says it is permissible for a girl to marry herself without the wali, opposing the Jumhur or the vast majority, according to him, this marriage will be invalid because he did not meet the conditions or the kafa'ah which this man was looking for. They went to another person, an innocent imam, and he said, this man is evil, whatever. They called him on the phone and said, yes, you have the right to marry yourself. Who was responsible for that?
SubhanAllah.
who is responsible is the questioner, number one. Because you can always phrase the question in a way that you are concluding a specific answer or inspiring the sheikh to give you the answer that you wanted.
Yes.
So as I said, you may be right 100%. If this is the case, then this man is not caliber, is not a just person, does not deserve to be a wali, but this guardianship will be transferred to the next in order. Those who are worth it, deserve it, and responsible for it. If none exist, then either an imam or the sheikh or the judge, as I mentioned before. But just going and marrying yourself by yourself, that is invalid.
Okay, we have two Muhammads on the line. Brother Muhammad from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, yes. I have 3 questions. May I ask?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. First question, can I adjust with my zakah, future zakah, to the money I give to somebody as loan, and at the time I make intention that if he does not return me, then I will adjust it with my zakah. Is it permissible or not?
Okay.
Muhammad.
2 questions.
Brother Muhammad, do you hear me?
Hello?
Do you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay. Did you already give somebody a loan and he is not able to pay it back?
Yes, I feel that he might not have the ability to return, or he may not give.
You cannot write it off. You cannot write it off from your zakah. You cannot write it off from your zakah. But because the zakah payment has to be preceded by intention.
Yes, I make intention.
He didn't pay it before.
He's
now giving it out.
Okay, I asked you whether you paid him or not. You said you did. So you have not paid him yet, right?
Pardon?
Did you give him the money? Did you give him the loan?
Yeah, I gave him the money and I make intention inside myself.
Okay.
That if he doesn't give me, I will adjust it. That he is a poor person.
Okay.
I will answer you, inshallah.
Your second question, Brother Muhammad?
Next question, obligatory prayer. If somebody abandons it, he becomes kafir, is that it?
Okay. Then your next question?
My father and mother came to Medina, Saudi Arabia.
Okay. I think Brother Muhammad, the line is very bad. We'll take a short break here on Ask Huda and we'll be back right after this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Each day we'll take one step closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to the Quran, to our way of life. Each day we will explore the acts of worship that we do, and we will find out how they relate to our hearts, how they impact our souls, how they help us understand the reality of existence. All of this and much more in our show, One Step Closer. All of you are invited to join us. Share your stories, share your aspirations, share your love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll be happy to have you on board. Join us in One Step Closer.
The story of Adam alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam the names of everything. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam approached that fire and he was surprised. The arrow killed the boy. If you want to be saved in this world, get on the ark of Islam.
نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين.
Our schools, what is missing? Join Dr. Mamdoor Muhammad in Our Schools, What is Missing? He will be discussing the most common mistakes made in our educational systems.
What type of teaching they teach him, what they say to him, what books they select for him to read, what things that he listens to, what games that he begins to play with.
How to perfect the work in the school.
Our goal is to improve our school.
And we'll see practical solutions from the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger.
Most of the criteria for success for us had been designed for us by our Creator.
Our Schools, What is Missing? In Ramadan on Huda TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You're watching Ask Huda. Just a quick reminder of our telephone numbers 00202-38555-248 or 249, or you can write to us at ask, that's ask@huda.tv. Okay, Brother Muhammad from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he wants to know if it's okay for us to use a miswak whilst fasting.
It is permissible to use a miswak at any time of the day while fasting, even if it is after Asr. Unlike what some of the followers of the Shafi'i school think that after Asr it is not permissible. There is no restriction whatsoever. You can always use the miswak. Just make sure that once you brush your teeth with the toothbrush or with the miswak, you spit out the saliva.
Okay, and his second question, and it's about going to the sajda and using the hands or the knees first. Brother Muhammad, all the questions on prayers, you can get all the information that you need. Just visit the website fursanalhaq.com or YouTube. You can go to YouTube and just type in the Prophet's prayer. Dr. Muhammad Salah, he did quite a beautiful explanation of the entire prayer, the way the Prophet ﷺ prayed it. And so that's all the viewers. If you have any questions about Salah, then just go to YouTube or fursanalhaq.com and type in the Prophet's prayer. Jazakallah khair. Okay, Sister Hamdan from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, she says she has a son who is 8 years old and she wants to teach him the seerah. She wants for you to recommend a good book that she can read to him.
I really love the marvelous book of Sheikh Safi al-Rahman Mubarak Fori. May Allah have mercy on him. Al-Rahiq al-Makhtoum or the Seal Nectar. Why I said I recommend it even for youngsters? Because it's translated to English and to Urdu as well. There are other beautiful books for children, for seerah, but unfortunately they're only in Arabic. Hopefully, inshallah, today I will make my homework and I will make some research. If there is any that have been translated, I would highly recommend it because even when I started my schools in America, I believe that the seerah is the second most important subject that our children need to learn.
SubhanAllah.
And guess what? It is the most attractive subject as well. What would really attract the students to attend, and make sure that they attend before the class time. They ask for it. Our seerah is so beautiful, especially the biography of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I also like to recommend a series of books called Islamic Studies 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe, by Dr. Abu Amina Bilal Phillips. Beautiful, very, very beautiful. And may Allah bless him for the effort that he made. If you are homeschooling your children, or if you are, for instance, having some time that you spend with your children at home, those books are very, very beneficial and useful. And recently I was editing some books for an organization or an establishment called Manahij. You can search it or Google it online. It's called Manahij, and you can order their books. I definitely recommend their books 100%. Very, very good, and with different grades. The setup and the amount of work which was put in it is really worth of buying and studying those books.
Okay, we have Brother Yunus from the United Kingdom. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You're live on Ask Huda.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Kareem.
Same to you, brother. Go ahead.
Brother, just one question. The Imam just, the Sheikh just answered now regarding brushing the teeth, using the miswak, and he mentioned the toothbrush. Now, my wife, she even asked me, and I said no, she wouldn't be allowed to use to brush her teeth while she's fasting. But when you're fasting, can you use the toothpaste as well, or just the toothbrush?
Okay.
That's what I want to make.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Next is Brother Sadiq from Cyprus. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
God gives you good rewards, all the Huda family, because in Europe this is good for us. We are getting something.
Same to you, brother.
Please, I have two questions.
Okay.
Sheikh, before for someone question, you are telling about the marriage that local for new Muslim local imam should be wali. But for my case, I even from the TV another one time you told I went to imam that and Islamic Cultural Center. I told him that while my wife is new Muslim, she don't have a guardian. So who will be the wali? She say nobody have to wali because she is 24 years old. There are no need wali. Only father and uncle can be wali. I cannot be wali. So what I worry if there was two witnesses. If my marriage is halal and my wife is new Muslim, is first time the Ramadan. One she did, today second, but she is, you know that practicing is very difficult. So what's the Islamic or advice or what is the rules and regulations, please?
Okay, can you repeat the second question, Brother Sadiq?
Sorry?
The second question. What's the second question?
Second question, I said my wife, that she is a new Muslim recently. So she now, today is 2 Ramadan, but she is having too much difficult.
Okay, I got it.
Don't have like us to have it from the children. So what shall we do here?
Okay.
Although she is working, my dear Sheikh.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Brother Sadiq
very much.
from Cyprus. We also have Sister Aisha from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum, sister. You're live on Ask Huda.
First of all, Ramzan Kareem to both of you. I have two questions not related to Ramzan. Sorry for that. My first question is, I'm on my Ida period. Can I go to perform Umrah?
Okay.
And the second question is, my husband has given me some jewelry as a gift on my marriage that I have given to his mother just to keep. But now, as he divorced me, he don't want to return it as he has given it to me. So, could you please explain this to him?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fiqh. Sister Aisha, Aisha there from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Brother Muhammad from Canada, he says, he's asking a question about polygamy. He says, if the man, he has intention, and he shares that intention of having a second wife with his first wife, she doesn't disagree, but it's difficult for her emotionally. What should a person do in that case? Should he go ahead with making the second wife a reality, or should he stay away from it?
That needs family counseling. But with regards to halal and haram, what I need to do is that it is not a condition for a person to have a second wife to seek the permission of the first wife. Repeatedly I said it is highly recommended to consult her and to have an agreement beforehand, or else normally that leads to breaking the family, either the first or the second, breaking the first marriage or the second marriage. And every time somebody calls and say that I was married secretly and the first one does not know, I disapprove that. It's halal, but I disapprove it. Why? Because you will be living in lies day and night. Every time you're away, or you have to spend the night there, or you spend some time there, you have to lie about it. So you got to avoid that from the beginning. And this is, of course, from blocking the means, which would lead to lying and falling into major sins and so on. So the second marriage is not contingent on the approval of the first wife, but it is highly recommended to consult her. As far as watching for her feeling and so on, Jazakallahu khairan, that's your decision. You decide based on your conditions. I cannot generalize and I say, no, don't get married. Some people, just a friend of mine got married, and when I asked him, he said a lady who is widowed and she has a bunch of young kids, and I decided to sponsor them and look after them. This lady is living in the city by herself, so if any man is entering her house, even to support her or to give her kids private tutoring or whatever, people will start talking. What is he doing inside? She's all alone by herself. Kids are young, 3, 4, and 8 or whatever. So he decided, and this is the best choice in this regard. If every woman thinks about it this way, that what if God forbid that she is widowed and she doesn't have any support, no financial support, no support from anybody around, and somebody step forward to take her as a second wife or a third wife. Islam is a religion that treats the problems by uprooting the problems, not superficially. See, in some practices in Christianity where divorce is prohibited, what happens? A wife may kill her husband or vice versa. Why? Because divorce is not permissible. That they got stuck forever. In Islam is not like that. Divorce is disliked, but if it is the solution and the only solution, then it's valid. It is the only solution. Okay? And if somebody is having trouble with his wife while she is having 4 or 5 kids from him, and she doesn't have any support, if he divorces her right now in order to marry again, she will be stranded in the sea. Right?
Yes.
And she does not have a man. And who's going to look after his kids? They're his kids by the end of the day. So for her, it would be better if she stays as a wife. And we handled a problem recently, a few months ago, likewise, where a woman says that, I would kill him if he marries. He said, don't worry about killing me or killing you or anything. I will divorce you, then I will marry. When it came into this decision, now she's happy that at least she is his wife for 3 days a week. So we look at it with wisdom and think about it reasonably. When somebody says polygamy is prohibited, tell me where. Give me an example. In America? Yeah, prohibited on papers. The Constitution says so. But those who cannot marry for the second time, they have girlfriends, they have mistresses, they have prostitutes who spend the night with them in haram. And unfortunately, some Muslim women would say, I would rather let him commit adultery and not to marry for the second time. At least she is not his wife. This is called ignorance, and she's stubborn. She doesn't understand that her husband is committing a major sin. So by thinking about it from the angle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it lawful for, and why Islam limited the number to 4, because some people think that Islam came from nowhere to make plural marriage allowed. That is not true. Islam is the only religion that limited the number to 4. فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَى وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ. 2, 3, or 4, and that's it, with conditions: the physical and financial capability, and the adala, that you know for sure that you will be treating them justly in every aspect. But if you compare in any religion before Islam, in Christianity, in Judaism, we keep talking about repeatedly, some prophets have 100 wives, and some prophets were married to 2 sisters at the same time. So how come that there is no objection on that? Because it was permissible in their Sharia. Similarly, in our Sharia, we do not bury our heads in the sand. Rather, we say, this is our Sharia. Whenever you have to, it's permissible. Whenever you think that is the ultimate solution for all your problems, that is permissible once you fulfill the conditions.
Okay, Doctor, for being with us today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and reward all the callers who have made the effort to call into our program today. Jazakallah khair. And if you have any other questions, you can write to us at ask@huda.tv. Well, that wraps it up for today's program in Ramadan. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
If my love is attached to thee, then from sins I will be free. Each time my heart will beat, your name will resound with heat. Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.